Sometimes the hardest part of a flight isn't taking off. Sometimes it's getting back down. Hi, I'm Florotilia, captain with Aerolíneas Illimani. Aerolíneas Illimani is a Bolivian domestic airline, and we fly small aircraft into remote parts of the country. Today's flight is a little different. I'm ferrying this Cessna Centurion from Ushuaia, Argentina to Cochabamba, Bolivia. This is the third leg of that journey, taking me about 500 nautical miles north to Mendoza. It's just after dawn. At this time of year, that's just before 9 in the morning. I finish the walk around and climb aboard. I'm carrying full fuel, and I've filed for 15,000 feet because later in the flight I'll be crossing some high terrain. The active runway this morning is runway 12. It's short, narrow, covered in deep gravel, with rising terrain beyond the departure end. A soft gravel runway means slow acceleration, and that leaves very little room to reject the takeoff if something doesn't look right. Temperatures and pressures are good. Flaps set, trim set. Hold the brakes. Full throttle. And brakes released. Let's go. Acceleration. Eventually. I'm already reaching the point where I would have to abort if the airspeed wasn't there. Rotate, come on. And we're flying. Positive rate, gear up, flaps up.
position, Charlie airspace.
Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot is Isa Center. Squawk 6021.
Squawk 6021, Mike Quebec Foxtrot.
Mike Quebec Foxtrot. Radar contact 2 miles southwest of Sierra Alpha, Sierra Delta, 3800. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace, Mike Quebec Foxtrot. Isa Center, Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot, 1 miles northwest of Sierra Alpha Sierra Delta, 5200. Request IFR to Sierra Alpha Mike Quebec. Ready to copy.
Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot is clear to Sierra Alpha. Mike Quebec Airport is filed. Squawk 6021.
Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot cleared to Sierra Alpha Mike Quebec Airport as filed. Squawk 6021.
Mike Quebec Foxtrot, read back correct. Radar contact 6100. QNH 1021, continue to Volan following heading 060. Resume on navigation. Climb and maintain 15,000.
Continue to Volan following heading 060. Proceed on course. Climb and maintain 15,000. Mike Quebec Foxtrot.
For the first few minutes, I climb straight into a spectacular Patagonian sunrise. It's beautiful. But don't let it fool you. Once Bariloche disappears behind me, I'm over some of the emptiest country in South America. Hundreds of miles of mountains, valleys, and wilderness. If something goes wrong out here, I might as well be crossing an ocean. Passing 11,000 feet, oxygen on. "15,000 feet, level off, cruise power." Now the long part begins. The radio is quiet. The landscape barely changes. For long stretches, I'm completely alone. Apparently, my GPS has decided to skip the first waypoint. No matter, I'll improvise the first leg and intercept the planned course before the second one. Approaching the course, and there goes the autopilot, neatly capturing it as if nothing ever happened. exactly what I pay it for. Looking west, the Andes are beginning to dominate the horizon. Clouds are building over the Chilean slopes. Nothing that looks threatening, yet. Fingers crossed. There's the second waypoint. Time to turn north. Mendoza, here I come. By now, it's full daylight. The terrain below is still empty, but it's slowly climbing toward the mountains ahead.
Victor, Mike, Quebec, Foxtrot, Mendoza Center, QNH 1024, radar contact, continue to bug due.
There's the handoff to Mendoza Center. I'm leaving Patagonia behind. The farther north I fly, the higher the terrain rises. This is why I planned 15,000 feet. Crossing the mountains, the weather changes. No more clear skies. Now I'm cruising above a cloud layer. Occasionally I catch glimpses of roads and scattered settlements below. Enough to remind me that civilization still exists down there. Looking north and west, there are more clouds ahead. Nothing alarming, but enough to make me think about the arrival.
Mike, Quebec, Foxtrot. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Mendoza Center just terminated my instrument flight plan. I'll fly a visual arrival. From here on, I'm on my own. Mendoza Aeroparque is a general aviation airport without an instrument approach. To land there, I'll have to find a gap in the clouds, descend visually, and locate the runway myself. The airport sits at roughly 2,600 feet above sea level. Ideally, I'd like to level off around 4,500 feet for the initial approach. First, though, I need a suitable hole in this cloud deck. The eastern side looks a little thinner, so that's where I'm heading. The airplane, of course, is perfectly happy cruising along at speed. It has absolutely no interest in descending. I've got plenty of distance to lose the altitude. The problem isn't the descent itself. The problem is getting through the clouds without disappearing into them, one thing at a time. Passing 12,000 feet, oxygen off. Almost at the cloud tops. Autopilot off. I'll hand fly from here. Now then, which gap do I trust? Pulling the power back immediately gives me the gear warning horn. At this speed, the airplane still doesn't want to come down. So, below 160 knots, I can use the first notch of flap. There we go. Flaps 1, throttle closed, nose down. Let's see where these clouds end. I'm monitoring the airspeed carefully. For the moment, I'm less interested in following the GPS track than I am in staying in clear air. A quick glance outside. Farmland. I didn't realize how relieved I'd feel to see that. At least there are people down there now. There's 4,500 feet, and I'm still above the cloud base. Down a little farther. 3,500. Close enough. Now, let's find this airport.
Argentina 1402. Climb and maintain 7,000 expect vectors visual runway tree 6 approach. Climb and maintain 7,000 expect vectors visual runway tree 6 approach. Argentina 1402. Argentina 1402. Descend and maintain 4,300. Contact Mendoza Tower on 124.2.
Mendoza Center, Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot is type, for miles northwest of Sierra Alpha Victor Papa Golf, 3,300. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot, Mendoza Center. Squawk 1212.
Squawk 1212, Mike Quebec Foxtrot.
Mike Quebec Foxtrot. Radar contact 5 miles northwest of Sierra Alpha Victor Papa Golf, 3,300. Cleared to the Charlie airspace. Descend and maintain 4,300. Tower on 124.2 Argentina 1402.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace, Mike Quebec Foxtrot. Sierra Alpha Mike Quebec traffic, Lima Victor Mike Quebec Foxtrot, 14 miles southeast, 3,400, inbound to land, runway 1, Sierra Alpha Mike Quebec.
This altitude makes me uncomfortable. I'll have to cross the city, and I'd much rather have another 1,000 feet underneath me. Fortunately, I've been here before. The airport sits along the western edge of the city, beside the foothills. Unfortunately, it's surrounded by development and surprisingly difficult to spot from the air. My plan is simple: close the distance, fly a right base. If I've judged it correctly, the runway should appear beneath my right wing. Flying toward rising terrain beneath a low cloud deck is normally something I'd avoid. Today, it's the only practical option. The city seems endless. I know roughly where the airport should be. I just can't see it. Turning right base. Gear down, flaps down. Maintain about 1,000 feet above the runway. Mixture rich. Propeller full forward. There it is, turning final. From here, it's straightforward. A long, wide, concrete runway. No crosswind. Just fly the airplane. Flare, and we're down. I'll let her roll. The taxiway is all the way at the far end. Parking brake. Mixture idle cutoff. Engine stopped. That was 3.5 hours in the air. That's enough flying for one day. I'll find a cup of coffee, something for lunch, and start planning tomorrow's leg. But that's a story for another day. I'll see you then.